We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Yesterday we heard, whenever a person experiences by self-realization that both the gross and subtle bodies have nothing to do with the pure self, at that time he sees himself as well as the Lord. That is on transcendental platform, the transcendental realization. We are eternally related to Krishna. We are his eternal servants. We forgot him. We became averse to him by the misuse of our relative independence, and we are in illusion. So we think this is my necessity, this is Maya giving so many things to attract us. But in reality, our necessity is only service of Krishna. We belong to him. We cannot be happy without serving him. We committed offense to him. That is our misfortune. So by the grace of sadhus, we have to come back. Yadyesho parata devi maya vaishara dimati sampanna eveti vidur mahimni sve mahiyate. If the illusory energy subsides and the living entity becomes fully enriched with knowledge by the grace of the Lord, then he becomes at once enlightened with self-realization and thus becomes situated in his own glory. Now we are in degraded position because of being under illusion of, means under the clutches of illusion. But if by the grace of the Lord in the form of Shastra and Sadhu, we become inclined to serve Krishna and do bhajan and get that realization, enlightenment, then when we are in our real self, as eternal servants of Krishna, then we are situated in our own glory. That is our glorious position, not this degraded. However, how much we may boast, I am beautiful, I am rich, I am from this family, all this is false and useless. Our real glory is when we are in our natural, eternal identity position. Evam janmani karmani hyakartur ajanasya cha varnayanti sma kavayo veda guhyani hritpate. Thus learned men describe the births and activities of the unborn and inactive, which is indiscoverable even in the Vedic literatures. He is the Lord of the heart. See, someone may think, what is this? This is bogus. It is contradictory. The learned men describe the births and activities of the unborn and inactive, because Krishna has no material birth, so he's unborn, he's eternal, but he's playing the pastime of being born from Jashoda and Devaki and Kaushalya Sachimata, like this. That is pastime of birth. They are not producing Krishna. Krishna is eternal, but he makes this pastime. And his activities also are not material activities. That is why he's inactive. He's not doing for any fruitive purpose. He is doing lila out of his joy. So those who are learned, they describe this. He is the Lord of the heart. He is most dear and near to us because he is residing in our heart. So it is not difficult to please him, Prahlad Maharaj said. Only we have to call him, turn towards him, then he will be pleased. But now we are in illusion. We are in forgetfulness of our eternal relation with Krishna. Forgetfulness of our real self in relation to Krishna. We are out in illusion, not in reality. So we have to suffer. Yad esho para Savaidam Vishwam Amogalila Srijati Avatyati Nasajatesmin Bhuteshu Chantarhita Atmatantra Shar Vargikam Jigrati Sadgunesha. The Lord, whose activities are always spotless, is the master of the 6 senses and is fully omnipotent with 6 opulences. 6 senses means 5 plus mind. He creates the manifested universes, maintains them and annihilates them without being in the least affected. He is within every living being and is always independent. He is the master of everything. So if we have relationship with him, then we can have no any lack. Like in this world you will find some ladies, they want to marry a rich man because he has a lot of money, so they think then we will be safe. Or some man wants to marry a rich lady, or become friends with some. So they think then that will give us some safety. But all this is temporary and unreliable. It may change at any moment. But if one becomes son or beloved wife of Krishna, Krishna is the owner of innumerable universes. So if he is your father, or if he is your husband or beloved, then can there be any lacking? Automatically everything is available to you. Automatically it is coming. But we have no belief. That is why we don't want to unconditionally surrender to Krishna. We have belief in these Mayic illusions, and we think that is reliable, that is concrete, that is real, that can save me, that can help me, that can fulfill me. This is our illusion. Because that is all the time changing. And no one is the actual owner of anything. We come to this world with closed hand, means we didn't bring anything. And we will leave this world with open hand. Mutti baadhe aya jagat mein, hath pasare jayega, in Hindi. Like this, and live like this. No one is the owner of anything. Even we are not the owner of this body like this. But we think that is giving me some safety, but it is not. Krishna gives, Krishna takes everything according to our past activities, and that is all the time changing. But our relation with him, if we establish or reawaken, then that is reliable thing. It is eternal, reliable. That is why those who have connection with Krishna, they have no anxiety. Because The owner of everything is their father, and he is omnipotent. He can do whatever he likes. And omniscient and omnipresent. We heard from our God brother, Krishna is everywhere. So wherever you are, he can protect you. Worldly husband or these friends like this, they may be in some other place and they're incapable, but Krishna can do everything and he's everywhere. So with him we have to have a relation. Then we can be free of anxiety. Otherwise there is always some unreal uncertainty. He is within every living being and is always independent. Na chasya kasche nipunena dhatur avaiti jantu kumanisha upi namani rupani mano vachobi santanvato natacharjam ivagya. The foolish, with a poor fount of knowledge, cannot know the transcendental nature of the forms, names, and activities of the Lord, who is playing like an actor in a drama. Nor can they express such things, neither in their speculations nor in their words. This is in Upanishad also, but there Brahman is mentioned. Brahman is beyond mind, beyond words. Vedanta Sutra all day. But here in Bhagavatam is very clear. His name, form, attribute. There only Brahman word is mentioned. But in Bhagavatam, Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila, and described everything is very clear. That is more abstract. It is true, but it is more abstract than in Bhagavatam. If you read Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra, then you will appreciate Bhagavatam so much more by seeing comparison, how Bhagavatam is very clear and fully merciful and direct like this. Saveda dhatu padavim parasya duranta viryasya rathangapane yo maya santataya nuvritya bhajeta tatpada saroja gandham. Only those who render unreserved, uninterrupted, favorable service unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who carries the wheel of the chariot in his hand, can know the creator of the universe in his full glory, power, and transcendence. Only by devotion we can realize him. Our relationship is already there with him, but we have forgotten. We are not aware because of wanting to enjoy Maya. But if by the grace of pure devotee we render service to Krishna, then that will be reawakened, re-established. Then there is no more difficulty. So this is what we have to do in this human life, not only sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. For this human life is not meant. We wanted to enjoy, so we got a chance to enjoy these four things in so many species of life. 8 million species. And then we got this human birth. This human birth is not meant for this. So if we are only developing and acquiring these four things, then we are wasting our human life. Human life is meant for realizing our eternal relation with Krishna, because by that we will get fulfillment and removal of all sufferings. Atheha dhanya bhagavanta itam yat vasudeve khila lokanate kurvanti sarvatmakam atma bhavam nayatra bhuya parivarta ugraha. Only by making such inquiries in this world can one be successful and perfectly cognizant, for such inquiries invoke transcendental ecstatic love unto the personality of Godhead, who is the proprietor of all the universes, and guarantee 100% immunity from the dreadful repetition of birth and death. In Upanishad, you will mostly find Brahman and Atma. But in Bhagavatam, Nam Rup Gun Lila is given. So here, Yat Vasudeva means Krishna, Vasudeva, son of Vasudeva. That Krishna, he is proprietor of all universes. So if you become his dear relative, son, if you become, then how there can be any difficulty for you? He is owner of everything. The son of a king has no problem. Or wife of a rich man has no problem. Everything is there. So Krishna is the owner of everything, including us. So if we can re-establish by the grace of bona fide Guru, then that will be our highest welfare. And guarantee, Krishna can give guarantee. In this world, many people, they give guarantee, but they cannot actually fulfill that guarantee. They may speak in words for many things, just for the sake of speaking, but no one can guarantee anything. Without the will of Krishna, nothing can happen. Like Narad Goswami, he told to father of Dhruva. Father of Dhruva was crying, why I was so cruel. I did not give attention to my son. Now he went to forest and wild animals, they ate him. So I'm so bad. There is not even a space for me in hell. I'm so bad that even in hell there is no space for me. Now he's dead. Then Narad said, no, he's not dead. He's protected by Supreme Lord. Even if he would stay in your lap, you cannot protect him. One conditioned soul cannot guarantee for another conditioned soul anything, because conditioned soul is not giver of the fruits of the actions, and each one has their own actions and reactions. So if someone has to die, father cannot save him, or wife cannot save, husband cannot save, medicine cannot save, nothing. They may be instrumental, but it is by the fruits of that. So if his fruits are different, then no one can protect. Impossible. Or change. Like when Raghunath Das Goswami was mature enough to renounce household life by doing bhajan, then his father also understood this. I am his father, it is true, but I cannot change the course of his karma. So the only thing reliable is this. Krishna can give guarantee, no one else. Even we, for our own selves, we are not reliable. We cannot give any guarantee. We are not reliable. We are also under the influence of Maya and Krishna's will. We cannot do independently as per our wish. So the only reliable thing is Krishna. So we have to, and he is giving 100%. We were hearing about like 95% immunity, but that was also cheating, because that is people, they did not explain what is meant by that, and also it was not actually such a result in practice. So that is cheating. But here Krishna is not cheating. One who will submit to him, Krishna gives guarantee, and he can do that because he's omnipotent. Everything is going on by his will. So if he wills, it will happen. He can give you 100%, not 95, but 100% immunity, not from some worldly disease, but from the dreadful repetition of birth and death. That is the main problem. These are these worldly problems, and they are temporary, all the time changing. But real problems of life are these four. Sai Maharaj always used to say, they are making these inventions, that invention, and they think they will solve. But no one can solve birth, death, old age, disease, and threefold afflictions. And they are the real problems. So why we are not attentive how we can solve this problem? But we cannot solve this problem with any material solution. Impossible. The only solution is given by Krishna. And we saw in Sanatana Goswami when he asked, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, this is the cause of this, Maya. You became averse, and there is only one way. We have to submit to Krishna. Then he will rescue us. One time in Calcutta, I wanted to express to Gurudev that my mind is not concentrating on Krishna's name and this. So even before I could say, Gurudev already asked me, any difficulty? Then I said, I did not say, only with the fingers I showed, yes, there is some difficulty. Then Gurudev told me, you should always think of God, Krishna. He will rescue us, isn't it? So if we can think, if we can know that only he is capable of rescuing us, then we will give attention. Otherwise, we will take shelter here, there, and of ourselves, our power, our capabilities, all this. We will not give attention to Krishna. But when we can know that only he can rescue us, then we will give attention, because that is beneficial. And we cannot get it otherwise. So because Gurudev is realized in that truth, practical realization, so it had an impact on me. At least for the time being, I was able to be more concentrated on Krishna by Gurudev's grace. And he said, you should think what Krishna wants. We are thinking what that person wants, that person what I want. All the time we are thinking, and we are trying to satisfy these desires, thinking, then we will be happy. But Gurudev told me, your thinking should be what Krishna wants. And you should do that. So if we can think what Krishna wants, then we will also do that, and that will be for our eternal benefit. So we need association of realized soul who is well established, realized in his eternal relation with Krishna, and he can inspire us in that direction. That will be beneficial. Everything else is, at the end, it will give us only frustration and suffering. It looks very nice, but it is all Maya. And there is hope is there, but that is all false hope. The only concrete, actual, reliable solution is our devotion to Krishna and his grace. So here 100% guarantee means guarantee for 100% immunity from the dreadful, means very painful, horrible suffering, a repetition of birth and death. Fearful. Uttama shloka charitam chakara bhagavan rishi nishreyasaya lokasya dhanyam swastyayanam mahat. This SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM is the literary incarnation of God, and it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. When Gurudev told me you should think of God, Krishna. Many times Gurudev used to first say God to me when speaking God, and then Krishna immediately, or directly Krishna. But never like only God, Krishna, or only Krishna. So here, Bhagavan, God is Bhagavan, but Bhagavan word is more precise. It means one who has all opulences. So this Bhagavatam is God, not different, and it was written by God, Vyasadeva, his Shakti-Avesh avatar. It is meant for the ultimate good, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. That is why here in commentary, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declared that Srimad Bhagavatam is the spotless, sound representation of all Vedic knowledge and history. That is why he told you hear Bhagavatam. You can read or hear other scriptures, but you have to understand them in the light of Bhagavatam. Then you can derive some benefit, but otherwise you may misunderstand them. But Jiva Goswami, he showed in his Sandarbhas, he is explaining all the points of Mahaprabhu and giving evidences from all different Shastras, Puranas, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavatam, Gita, so many, to prove, to show what Mahaprabhu is giving is based on scripture And the ultimate purpose of the scripture is Krishna Prem. So he's making this clear. Oh, one second. My battery I did not put. 1 second. Yes. Because my cable for battery was out. I did not put, I had computer out, so now it is okay. Sorry for the disturbance. So Bhagavatam is non-different from Radha Krishna, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. So we can, without any hesitation, without any apprehension, hesitation, we can take full shelter to Bhagavatam and Bhakta, devotee of Krishna, then we will have connection with Krishna. Tat idam grahayam asa sutam atmavatam varam sarva vedeti hasanam saram saram samudritam. Sri Vyasadeva delivered it to his son, who is the most respected among the self-realized, after extracting the cream of all Vedic literatures and histories of the universe. Cream is this, Bhagavatam. He gave it to Shukadeva Goswami. As we will see later, when Shukadeva Goswami entered that area where Parikshit Maharaj was waiting, then all stood up in respect of him. Satu sam shravayam asa Maharajam Parikshitam prayo pavishtam gangayam paritam paramarshibih. Shukadev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, in his turn delivered the Bhagavatam to the great Emperor Parikshit, who sat surrounded by sages on the bank of the Ganges, awaiting death without taking food or drink. We should not be miser. When you have something, then you should distribute it. You will not lose it. By that, you will gain more. So first we have to make our life successful. and then also help others. So Shukadeva Goswami received it and also gave it to Parikshit Maharaj. But first we have to have it, and then we should give, but to those who are ready to receive, not forcefully or for some ulterior desires like this. Those who are ready to receive, those who have Sukriti, they're willing. So if you don't give to them, then you will have a fault. You will be miser. Krishna sva dhamopagate dharma jnanadibhi saha kalau nashta drishamesha puran arko dhunodita. This Bhagavata Puran is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Puran. When Krishna disappeared, then Bhagavatam appeared to preserve this, his mercy in this world. We can attain that mercy by this Bhagavat Puran. Like when some guru, before his disappearance, he will appoint his successor, or it will be self-evident. In due course of time, it will be self-evident, self-revealed, self-effulgent, who is now keeping that mercy in this world. And those who have desire for eternal welfare, they will be able to get, they will be able to recognize, not others. So it depends on us. If we are sincere for eternal welfare, we will always have proper guidance and proper help. But if we have some other desires, then we may check so many, is that he is bona fide or he is not, he's Uttam Mahabhagavat, he's this, all the time checking. We cannot attain by this. It is by our sincere desire for eternal welfare that Krishna will reveal to us. By our intelligence, we cannot detect, recognize. Tatra kirtayato viprarsher. Tatra kirtayato viprarsher bhuri tejasaha aham chadyagamam tatra nivishtastat anugrahat sohamvah shravayishyami yatha ditam yatha mati. O learned Brahmanas, when Shukadeva Goswami recited Bhagavatam there, in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus, by his mercy, I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now I shall try to make you hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it. This is Guru Parampara. Sutta Goswami is saying, when Shukadeva Goswami was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj in Bhagavatam, that time I was hearing very attentively. I received that and I realized. Then he can give it to others as it is. Same message. Otherwise, there may be some deviation. And if someone did not realize fully, maybe up to some extent, but not fully, he may also speak Harikatha, but only what he has heard from Gurudev, Vaishnavas and Shastra with humble mood for his own purification. Not as a teacher of others, like that, with humble mood to remind himself to speak for his own purification, then that Harikatha will also have beneficial effect on others. Because humbleness is there, so it will be connected to Guru Parampara. But if there is false vanity, false pride, then we will be disconnected from Guru Parampara. Then we cannot give benefit to us nor to others. So by Guru Parampara this is happening. Brahma got it from Krishna and he realized, then he gave to Narad, and then Narad to Vyas, Vyas to Shukadev, like this. We have to submit to Guru, follow his instructions, then we will receive that, we will realize, then we can give also to others, and again, only to those who are eligible to receive, who have Sukriti and who are surrendered naturally, who have faith, and they are willing to hear and willing to practice. It is not only that we will take initiation and then everything is finished. No, we have to practice according to the instruction of Guru. Then we can realize. Next chapter. That is why before Guru gives initiation, he will first make aspirants aware of about following certain rules and regulations for the service of Krishna. What you have to do, like regular chanting and observing fasts on those days, and other practices, and wearing tulsi, wearing tilak, and giving up all those sinful activities. It is all for the service of Krishna. So those who have faith in Krishna, this is first condition. They must have faith in Krishna and in Guru, and they should be willing to follow all the rules and regulations for the service of Krishna. Then they will get initiation, and if they will follow, they will serve Krishna, then they can realize. Otherwise, just by taking initiation, it is not enough. You have to follow instructions. Only in rare cases, there may be Kripa Siddhi, that is in rare cases. There, without any sadhana, they can immediately attain that. Vyasa Uvach. But if it is not happening in my case, I am not Kripa Siddha, then I have to do sadhana to get. Vyasa Uvach. Iti Bruvanam Samstuya Muninam Dirga Satrinam Vriddha Kulapatih Sutam Bahvricha Shona Kobravit. This is chapter 4 of Bhagavatam, first canto, the appearance of Sri Narad. On hearing Sutta Goswami speak thus, Shaunak Muni, who was the elderly, learned leader of all the rishis engaged in that prolonged sacrificial ceremony, congratulated Sutta Goswami by addressing him as follows. Shaunak Uvach. Sutta Sutta Mahabhago. Vadano Vadatam Vara. Katham Bhagavatim Punyam Yat Aha Bhagavan Chuka. Shaunak said, O Sutta Goswami, you are the most fortunate and respected of all those who can speak and recite. Please relate the pious message of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, which was spoken by the great and powerful sage Shukadeva Goswami. First, Narad spoke to Vyas. Vyas spoke to Shukadev, and Shukadev spoke to Parikshit. And Sutta Goswami heard it at that time, and he will speak to Shaunak Adi Rishis, headed by Shaunak, 60,000 rishis. They were there in hearing with pin drop silence. Very attentively all they were hearing. There were no mobile and no inattentiveness and this and that. And quiet place, no disturbance from outside. They were all hearing. That is real hearing. And we also heard how that Gokarna spoke Bhagavatam and he rescued his brother. And also others. He had to speak second time to rescue the others also. And we heard how Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur sent one his disciple who was very learned in worldly sense to Ram Das Prabhu to learn Bhagavatam, to hear Bhagavatam from him. That was also Bhagavatam. There were no Sanskrit shlokas, but the meaning from realization came. That was also Bhagavatam speaking, because he spoke the actual truth about Krishna and how everything is related to him, everything belongs to him, we belong, so we should serve him. Is fully established in that. So that is Bhagavatam. Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. He spoke without any Sanskrit shloka. But I may memorize so many Sanskrit shloka, but that will not be the transcendental. I cannot impart that transcendental knowledge to anyone, because I did not get it properly. Kasmin yuge pravriteyam staneva kena hetuna kutah sanchodita Krishna kritavan samhitamuni. In what period and at what place was this first begun? And why was this taken up? From where did Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas, the great sage, get the inspiration to compile this literature? Krishna Dvaipayan means one who appeared on Dvip island, and he was blackish in color. That is why Krishna Dvaipayan Vyas. Vyas means one who divides. He divided the Veda. This is also one kind of title also. Many Vyasas can be there. And we also there, Vyasa son is there. So many Vyasas are there. You will also find in the writings of Jiva Goswami many Vyasas. But we are thinking about this Krishna Dvaipayan Veda Vyas, father of Shukadeva Goswami. Tasya putra Mahajogi Samadrin Nirvikalpaka Ekanta Matir Unidro Guru Mura Iveyate. His, means Vyasadeva's son, was a great devotee, an equibalanced monist, whose mind was always concentrated in monism. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. Mahajogi and Samadri Nirvikalpaka. Always, without interruption, he was established in that oneness. He was transcendental to mundane activities, but being unexposed, he appeared like an ignorant person. But the ignorant, they cannot recognize him, but learned can recognize, as we will see. Drishtvanu yantam rishim atmajam apyanagnam devyo hriya paridadur nasutasya chitram tat vikshya prichati muno jagadustavasti stripum vidanatu sutasya vivikta drishte. While Srila Vyasadeva was following his son, beautiful young damsels who were bathing naked covered their bodies with cloth, although Sri Vyasadeva himself was not naked. But they had not done so when his son had passed. The sage inquired about this, and the young ladies replied that his son was purified, and when looking at them, when Shukadeva Goswami saw them, made no distinction between male and female. But the sage made such distinctions. So he was on that transcendental platform, seeing all living entities, sama sarveshu bhuteshu, all same, not male, female like this. So there is no lust there. So if there is no this there, then ladies, they will not feel any shyness or any threat or something. No, so there was no problem because he was on that platform. Some are on that platform. They are there. By bhajan, they can get that. So tomorrow we will hear about Srila Bhakti Pradeep Tirtha Goswami Maharaj. He's also realized soul. Then we will also read commentary because this is very important point. The ladies, they did not cover when Shukadev went. No need. But when Vyasadeva, then they cover. So we will hear why so from commentary.